Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be trying on the brand new quad released from Tom Ford. This is the Tom Ford. It is called the Private Rose Garden Collection for 2023. Now in this collection are two eye color quads. One is a re-promote. The one that I got is the new one, and that is 01 Rose Tease. The re-promote is Insolent Rose. There's also a rose lip oil tint, and I picked up that as well. There's also two lip color satin matte lipsticks, and I didn't pick up either of those. And there's also a cushion compact case. It hasn't got any foundation or anything in it. It is just an empty case, and it is similar to the packaging of the eye color quad. So I will show you the packaging that the quad and also that the lip gloss came in. It has the white writing on the front, and inside it has this really beautiful pink color, and the lip oil tint has the same type of packaging with the pink inside as well. So here is the quad. I think the packaging is really beautiful. I think it's really chic. It has just the TF on the front there, and it also has Tom Ford on the end here. This is made in Italy, and it has 10 grams of product. So this is a limited edition assortment. It says inspired by the roses flourishing in the designer's personal garden. Now the quad that I'm going to show you, 01 Rose Tease, that is limited edition, and they say it features pinks and rich dirty purples. Now this quad is also all mattes. I have worn this quad. I got it the day before yesterday, and yesterday we went out for the evening, so I decided to try this on, and I thought the final look was really beautiful, and it lasted really well throughout the afternoon and the entire evening as well. So here is the color story of Rose Tease. As I said, these are all matte shadows. I thought they performed really beautifully when I was applying them yesterday. And also inside you have the two applicators, the one with the brush and the one with the sponge tips on the end. I didn't use those yesterday, and I'm not sure whether I'll use them today or not. Sometimes I do use the applicators, especially the sponge ones that come with these quads. So just hold this up so you can take a good look at the color story. I really love the white and black packaging, and the shades of these are just really beautiful. So I will swatch this on my arm so you can take a look, and I've also pulled out about 2 or 3 other Tom Ford quads. I thought I might have something that matches this color story from the other Tom Ford quads that I've got, but I haven't. Now, although I have quite a few Tom Ford quads, I don't have as many as some other YouTube creators out there. So once this is released in the US and other YouTube creators do videos on this, they might have something from their collection where the color story is similar. So I'm going to swatch this from left to right and top to bottom. When I'm swatching them, these feel incredibly smooth, really beautiful. And I'm not surprised, because when I wore this yesterday and I was putting it on, these were really beautiful to blend. I would probably describe it as a dusty pink. And here is the bottom left shade. And finally we've got the purple shade here. So I've just turned down the lights a little bit in front of me, just so you can take a look with the lights lowered. So this quad is not that cream formula, it is a powder formula, but I still think that it performs really beautifully, and as I was saying, it swatches beautifully, and it also applied really lovely as well. So the first quad that I've pulled out is Smoky Quartz. Now I probably won't swatch this one, but you might want to see what they're like side by side. Smoky Quartz is the cream formula, and it is a completely different color story to the Rose Tease. So here we have Smoky Quartz on this side, and here we have Rose Tease. And the next quad that I've got is Rose Topaz. This is also that creme formula, but these color stories are really different as well. So here we have Rose Topaz, and Rose Tease. And then I've got Forbidden Pink. This is the one in that limited edition packaging. This was in the pink, which was really beautiful as well. So I'll hold these up, and these are different colour stories as well. So here we have Forbidden Pink and Rose Tease. So another quad that I've pulled out, and that is Hazy Sensuality. And although this is the wet dry formula, this is probably more closer to the colour story. So I will swatch this one on my arm. So I'm going to work left to right and top to bottom again. So this one here, I'm going to swatch it just under here. So it looks different, it is, since it is the complete different formula. But if you have this quad, you might want to see them side by side. So here is the top right shade, and this is the bottom left shade, and finally the bottom right. And then the final Tom Ford quad that I've got, and it is number 31, and this is sur le Sable, and these are the three mattes, but here you have that shimmer shade. I thought that this looked a little bit similar, and also one of my subscribers, Beth, she asked if I could compare that. So I will swatch this one on my arm as well. So we're going to start off with, this is the top left shade, and I will put this here. I'll just swatch over that again. Now in the pan, this shade is cooler from Sur le Sable, and the one in Rose Tease, that is warmer. So the next shade, the top right, and this one is that satin formula. Next is this is the bottom left, and if anything, that could be similar to the shade here, but again, they are a different tone. And finally, in Sur le Sable, this is the bottom right. So they are quite different colour stories. And again, I've just turned down the lights a little bit, just so you can take another look. We've got Rose Tease, Sur le Sable, and here is Hazy Sensuality. So let's start with the eye look. I already have all my base makeup on, and the majority of it is Tom Ford, but as always, I've got everything that I'm putting on my face today. It will be listed and linked below. So I'm going to start off with the shade here. This is the lightest one, and I'm going to do the same look that I did for yesterday afternoon and also throughout the evening as well. And I just started off with the shade, and I just put this all over my lid. But just as they swatched, they also blend out really beautifully as well. They are very smooth. I'm going to take the rephr 14, go into the shade here. So there is a little bit of kick up in the pan, but it's not too bad. I don't feel like I need to tap off the brush or anything like that. So I'm just going to put this shade through my crease, and I'll take it just slightly above as well. Then I'm going to stay with the shade, and I'm going to run this under my lower lash line. Then we'll take the rephr 13, and we're going to go into this deepest shade here. This is the purple shade, and they describe it as that dirty purple. I would say it's more, I'd describe it probably as a dusty purple. Now I would say with these shades, when you first put them on, they're not super pigmented, but they are buildable. So I've just tapped this brush into the shadow again, and I'm just going to slightly build that colour up. So I would describe the shadows probably more on the soft side. They do have pigment, and I love it that they're more softer and that you can build it up to how you want. Sometimes a little bit easier for me, if I can just build on shadow, then when you first put it on, they are super pigmented. Then I'm going to take the rephr 3. I'm going to stay with this shade here. And I'm going to run this under my lower lash line as well. Then I'm going to take the rephr 28 and then go into this shade here. And I'm going to just put that over the rest of my lid, and I'm going to take a little bit of that shade just through here as well. I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and just blend that all through, just so it softens it out and it's just a little bit more seamless. And then I think last night what I did, because this doesn't have a topper or a shimmer shade in it, I took this brush here. This is the Sonia G. This is the flat definer. And I'll just go back into the shade and I'm just going to run a little bit of that just through here. And although this isn't a shimmer, it's very subtle, but it just lightens it up just a fraction in here. And yesterday when I wore this, I also used this as a blush as well. And these are the two shades that I used. I also think this could be really beautiful as well, but I'll just stick with what I did yesterday. So I started off with this shade here, just pick up a tiny amount and just blend that out. And I thought these worked really beautifully as a blush. So I'm just going to put a little bit more of that same shade on and just build it up. But these blend really beautifully. You can see how gorgeous they are when they blend. They're just not patchy at all. So, and I'm not surprised, because they blend beautifully on the eyes as well, but also really gorgeous as a blush. So now I'm just going to tap into this shade here and put more of this just through the apple through here. So now let's take a look at the Rose Lip, the oil tint. This is the packaging that it comes in, again with that really pretty pink on the inside. This has 5 ml of product, and this is made in Italy as well. Now it says that this is a lip oil that imparts a healthy shine to the lips, enriched with coconut oil and vitamin E. It smoothens the lips, providing a lightweight and non-sticky gel-like sensation. The oil also delivers a full appearance with a stunning pink hue. Now, my pigment on my lips it's not really light. It's probably a little bit darker. So I only can just see that pink hue. Now, the formula of this is absolutely beautiful. And I am going to swatch it next to a couple of the Dior, the lip oils as well. So this is the packaging that it comes in. It is really beautiful in the black and white. It feels really heavy, and you just unscrew it, and it has the little doe foot applicator at the end here. Now, I took this with me when I went out last night and reapplied it. I think the formula of this is outstanding. Now, I do like the Dior Lip Glow oils as well, and I use them a lot, and I've got quite a few different shades. With this oil, I would say that it is just as nourishing as the Dior ones, but it is lighter. The Dior lip oils are just that little bit thicker. So this you can hardly feel on your lips at all, but it still gives a really beautiful shine with a very slight hue. Non-sticky, really gorgeous formula. So what I'm going to do, I don't think you'll be able to see the hue of this on my hand, but I'm going to swatch this on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to take a couple of the Dior lip oils as well, and put them side by side just so you can take a look. So they say that this has the pink hue in it. I don't really see much of that on my lips. Probably if I go to wear it again, unless I want an absolute nude look with just that really beautiful shine, probably I'd put on something like, I've got the Dior, it's the Forever, those matte lipsticks. I've got the one in a nude color. I'd probably pop that on and then the lip oil over the top. But today I'll just wear the lip oil just by itself. So the two that I've pulled out from my collection of the Dior lip oils, I've pulled out 001 in pink, and you see these are shorter and they've got the bigger doe foot as well. Now I do love these lip oils and that's why I've got so many of them, but this is definitely a thicker formula. And I also picked out the one in raspberry as well, just so you can see them side by side. So I'll just show you the Tom Ford one against the Dior lip oils as well. So the Dior ones are wider, but more chunkier, but they're definitely quite a bit shorter than the Tom Ford one. So I'll just hold this up so you can take a look. Now here is the Tom Ford, and you can very slightly see a pink hue, but there's not much in it really. This is the Dior 001 in pink, and this one here is 007, and that is in raspberry. So these two are the Dior lip oils, and here is the Tom Ford. Now you can actually see with the swatches on my hand with the Dior, it does look thicker than the Tom Ford one. And although I love the Dior lip oils, I think that this Tom Ford one is superior because it's more lightweight and it just feels really beautiful on the lips. It is lightweight but still has that really beautiful gloss. So like I said, when I use this in the future, I'd probably put a very nude lipstick underneath and probably a matte one and this over the top. But for today, I'll just put this on just by itself just so you can take a look. So this is with the lip oil just by itself, and it feels so beautiful on. I prefer this formula to the Dior lip oils. It is really beautiful. So you can see that it gives a really beautiful shine, but it is very lightweight, and this is also super nourishing as well. Now, as I was saying, I went out for the evening, so I put this in my bag. I reapplied it probably a couple of times, and by the time I got home, I hadn't reapplied it for quite a while, and quite a bit of the shine was gone, but my lips just felt really moisturized. It is such a gorgeous formula. So I'm just going to hold up the swatches in my hand again, just with the lights turned down a little bit, just so you can take a look as well. So here we have the Tom Ford, and these two are the Dior lip oils. And I forgot to mention that the lip oil tint, it also has a scent to it as well. It's not overpowering, but it has a really beautiful, it is a rose scent. It smells really gorgeous. So I'm also going to wear a Tom Ford perfume today, since I'm nearly wearing all Tom Ford anyway. So I've pulled out the Tom Ford Cherry Smoke. I've spoken about this before. It is absolutely gorgeous. So here is the final look. And altogether, I think it is really lovely. Of course, the blush is going to match the eyeshadow, since I did use the eyeshadow as a blush, but really pretty. The lip oil tint, as you can see, it maybe has just a faint pink hue to it. Maybe if you don't have as much pigment as I do in my lips, it would probably show more. You could also use just a really light nude lip liner and just blend that out a little bit on your lips, and then the tint over the top. But I think the tint by itself looks really pretty as well. I think that the color story of this eyeshadow quad is gorgeous. I think it's really beautiful, considering that it hasn't got a shimmer, and often a shimmer can bring a whole eyeshadow to life. So considering it hasn't got anything like that in this, I think it looks really beautiful. As I said, these are soft. They have pigment. They don't have, like, they're just not super pigmented though, but they are buildable. There is a tiny bit of kick up in the pan, but not much at all really. And there was 1 or 2 little bits of fallout. I didn't mention it earlier and it just wiped away. So fallout really isn't an issue at all. These blend beautifully, and even though they're not the cream formula, I think that they feel very smooth and really buttery, just really gorgeous. And I think the packaging is really beautiful as well. And of course, they go really well as a blush. Now, I haven't tried it yet, but I think that this could look really beautiful as a blush. I think you'd have to go fairly easy, and if you weren't careful, depending on your skin tone, this could end up maybe looking like a bruise, but I have a feeling that that could look really gorgeous. But these 2 shades together, I think, are just really pretty. Now, I forgot to mention where I picked this up from. I got this in New Zealand. This was for sale at Smith & Co.'s, and I can't remember the price. And when I was talking about Tom Ford quads in a Will I Buy It video, that was not too long ago, I did mention that these are very expensive in New Zealand. Now, I think this quad was somewhere around, might have been $168 or $170, somewhere around there. They had this quad. They also had the re-promote in Insolent Rose as well. When I looked on the Smith & Co. site, I think it was yesterday, this one here, Rose Tease, was no longer available. But if you're in New Zealand, it'd probably pay to ring the Tom Ford counter at Smith & Co.'s. They may have some there available at the counter, but they've just now taken them down from the website. The ones that they've put aside maybe for online have now sold out. And I think from memory, the lip oil tint, that was, I think it was about $96. I'll just check the email that they sent me when I purchased them and just double check those prices. Okay, so in New Zealand, the quad was, I was a bit kind, it's actually $184. So that's why I was saying in my Will I Buy It video, I don't purchase every Tom Ford quad that comes out because they are really expensive here. And the lip oil tint, that is $98. But both look really beautiful. I'm pleased that I picked them up. I think they are really gorgeous products. So that's it for today's video. I would love it if you gave it a like and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.